Or Zion and Israel is one of the same. I'd like to say Zion is the Garden of Eden. Okay? I like to take the modern terms out of it, and I like to say when I refer to where I live at, I live in the Garden of Eden and Zion. Because the Most High said I will return to Zion, and I know He's going to return to the Garden of Eden. That's just logical.
Northeast
Northeast Africa.
Let's can I segue just for a minute?
Yes, please.
We got a brother here, highly esteemed scholar, Maury Kananya.
Shalom.
Now, the brother just said that this is the Garden of Eden.
That's right.
And you just gave a lecture on that.
Now to your phrase.
All right.
It's the Garden of Eden.
Let the people know exactly what's happening here.
Well, basically, what he just confirmed was that geographically, we are in the most spiritual geographical location on the planet, where the vibrations and the spirit of the Creator is exemplified.
Absolutely.
And I'm listening, and I'm taking it all in. And I want to ask the Kohen, how do we define Mount Zion? Is it, because I know we was taught that a mountain is a government.
Yes.
So can you elaborate on when they say Mount Zion, what does that mean? What does that mean?
To my understanding, it's just as you said that whenever you refer to a mountain or a mount like that, you're referring to a high place. And it always says that the high places was where we would flee when the abomination of desolation would be seen in the high places. So we should flee to what? Judea.
Right.
To the mountaintops.
Right.
Of this, and it says when we return, it says we should also return to the mountain of the Lord. It don't say give no names. So we have to understand when we return to the mountain of the Lord, then naturally, so logically, you would have to say that the mountain of the Lord is Zion. Because He said, I will return to Zion, and my people would too. So all of these mountaintops that we find in Arad, that we find in the Judean environment, we know that that is particularly Zion. We know that those places are Zion, and the people there are the people of Zion. They are Zionists. They are the true Zionists.
So we're not all fleeing to one mountain.
No, it ain't like that.
So we're talking as much of a conceptual mountain as we are of a geographical mountain.
Right.
We're talking about the mountain of the Lord. That is a mountain that's composed of the minds that have to have something to do with the Lord.
That's the high place.
Okay.
On the body. And this is like Zechariah said. He said, but I will pour my flesh, I will pour my spirit out on all flesh at that time. And so when we talking about a new birth. We're talking about a new heaven. We're talking about going into the Jubilee. Those that are being purged from us right now. We got 3 years for the purging to come. Those that ain't, He's going to purge His house. He's already started 10 years ago, but He's really going to purge His house, because no one that has a uncircumcised heart is going to enter into the Lord's rest in the 50th actual year. No one.
So we can really be played out of position or taken into the wrong thought by thinking of the external things that we're describing and missing the point that we're talking about an internal condition in ourselves.
See, the Shabbat is not a collective day for worship. It's a personal day. It's a day between you and the Most High. A day that you roam the Most High.
Okay.
And this is what He says. He says that, you understand, we have to repair. We are the repairers. Those that came back in the first ingathering that came back into the land, the first vanguard that got here. We are the repairers of the breach. And the breach was basically the Shabbat and New Moon. With the Most High, we never kept it. So this is the first thing that I'm saying now as we enter into this 3-year period. Be mindful, saints here in Jerusalem, because it says in Scripture, 44th chapter of Isaiah, 44th chapter of Isaiah, it says in Scripture that we're going to be sorely afraid now because of the wickedness that's in our hearts here in Zion. We're not keeping the Shabbat. And what did the Most High say about those that don't keep his Shabbat? He said, I will cut you off, every man, least to the greatest. Read. Let me see. We said Isaiah the 44th chapter. I think it's around 44th chapter. Okay, we'll skip that. I had it, but I don't seem to see it. Anyway, but it said that the saints would be afraid at Zion. They would be afraid to, just like in the days of Moses. The people didn't want to face the Most High, even though they were face to face with him in the wilderness. They didn't want the Most High to come to them. They wanted Moses to go to the Most High and deal with it, and Moses come to them, because they knew that they can get away with sin with Moses, with a man, just like we knew we can get away with sin with Bobby, but we can't get away with sin with the Most High. That's impossible. He see everything, he know all things. So ain't nobody escaped. You may have escaped, you may have been on this program or whatever program you thought you was on up in here. But now you're afraid, you're afraid because you know this is judgment. The Most High is judging his house. Ben-Ami is not judging the house. The Most High is judging his house. Every man, every tongue shall confess and every knee is going to bend now.
So is it correct to say that what Yah had defined of old and what Yah is defining at this moment is the transition from an impersonal God, you know, with a middleman, be it Moses or Ben-Ami or whoever, that the transitioning for us, for every individual, had to be from something that was impersonal, or a step outside of a totally personal relationship, to where we have to snatch all of that cover off of us and remove all that veil, however thin or thick, between us and a totally personal relationship with the Holy One.
You're absolutely correct. What we cannot do is, the Most High never shall there fail us to have a ruler or a leader governing us and giving us instructions on how to worship and serve the Most High. We're being taught how to come back to the Most High by somebody who he sent to us, an anointed personage. Ben-Ami the Anointed was sent to us to teach us as a teacher of righteousness, to teach us how to return to the Most High, because we didn't know how. We just didn't know how. But we was not supposed to make him God. He was sent by the Most High for us. But see, some people got caught up into where they think that he was God in the flesh.
Fell in love
that God came down and got in a body, and that's the way he was. He go to the basements like everybody else. He do this, You can't do the Most High like that. He's a spirit. He's a holy, sacred spirit.
Worshiping him.
You got to worship him in spirit and truth.
And in truth.
You understand? So you miss when you try to put everything in a man. Moses had faults. He was flawed. But he had a charge to deliver his people. Ben-Ami had a charge to deliver his people, and he did it.
So with David,
David had a charge.
so with Abraham.
Abraham had a charge. All these men were anointed. Samuel, all of the prophets, they had a charge.
Is there
Solomon.
is there a difference with Yeshua?
Yeshua, no difference. He was just another brother that had a charge, you understand, to what? To go out and to warn his people that the end, unless they changed, the end of the world was going to take place. And they would go into captivity. Okay, so basically, I just wanted to make it clear that we understand, and no, I couldn't, that's right, I couldn't locate that scripture. But just wanted to make sure everybody understand that the Shabbat is very, very, very relevant into our lives. And each month is 28 days. You cannot have a month with 29 days. No such thing.
Don't make sense.
Don't make sense.
So 31-day months and
Don't make, you cannot have a
7-day
1-day week. You cannot have a 2-day week. You cannot have a 3-day week.
Yeah.
And then just stop and you're going to start again. No, you can't do that. Everything ends on the 7th day. Each month ends on the 7th, the last week of the 7th day. The month is gone.